Tools to convert and engage with your audience. That is the next section that we're going to talk about. While in the first parts of this video, we talked about the strategy and the acquisition tools. Now it's our job to engage them, to get them into a funnel and to have them act. The hardest part, once you have people on your website or once you send out a connection request on LinkedIn, is to get them to interact with you. Nothing is harder. Yeah, we are bombarded by all those messages and we have so many connections everywhere on each platform that it's not enough to just send them to a landing page and accept magic to happen. So what you need at the heart of your customer relationship is a CRM. A CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management Software. And at pirateskills, we are using ActiveCampaign. And as you can see here, let me zoom in a little bit. This is the dashboard that you can see once you log in. You can see immediately that we have 2,972 people in our database. And you can see that we send some automations. You can see the trends, the different email campaigns that we have scheduled. You can see the preview of the templates, and what I really like here on the right hand side, let me zoom in properly, you can see the user activity. You can see when people subscribe, when they click through emails. I really love this. It is like a pulse. It shows me stuff is happening. Yeah, on my platform, people are actually getting engaged. So why is a CRM the most important tool after your website? It is the place where you keep track of the people who have made a certain commitment to you. There are only people in the CRM who have willingly decided to be there. They signed up for a lead magnet. They went to an event that you hosted. They already have raised their hand in a way and said, I'm interested in what you are doing. And that means that you captured the lead and now the journey begins. It is really just the beginning. Now it's our job to build the trust. And we need to see a history of people. We need to see the categories of people who are really most and best matched for the product and the value that we can provide. Only a CRM can give you that. Maybe you can keep 12 clients in your head, but as soon as it goes over 100, you're out of it. So I think the CRM is the tool that I'm most picky about. So I have 3 suggestions in terms of tools for you. MailChimp is a good start as a CRM, and it's an almost always good choice for e-commerce because the e-commerce integration between MailChimp and Shopify stores or WooCommerce and Magento, it's just amazing. Yeah, you can see the complete purchase history. You can segment the email list by customer lifetime value. It's amazing. Yeah, I have no complaints there. For anything else, MailChimp is the simplest way to start. It's easy, it's friendly, the free tier is very generous, up to 2,000 contacts. You can use MailChimp for free. But what if the MailChimp box gets too small? I've been guilty of this many times in the past. I have abused MailChimp as a CRM. You have customer properties, contact properties like first name, last name, address, preferences, interests, groups, tags in which they are. And you can really push this to a certain extent. But at some point, especially if you're interested in building more sophisticated automation workflows, MailChimp can get really confusing and you don't know really who is at what stage in a workflow. And if you try to visualize it, it's madness. It really is madness. And this is where other tools step up. Yeah, ActiveCampaign, I think it's even older than MailChimp. I used to always think it's one of the old good ones. Yeah, but MailChimp is the modern way to go. But then I saw that many people are just copying the tools like the workflow visualization from ActiveCampaign. Yeah, and they have become super modern. I've never been so happy with the CRM. I'm usually bitching and moaning about my shop and about my CRM. It's the first time that I'm not. It's a great fit if you have a B2C or B2P business. B2C should be not super cheap, yeah, but if you have stuff with like maybe €50 average basket size, then ActiveCampaign easily pays for itself. And in B2B, it scales up to the moon. And it's not just email. With MailChimp, you know, it's an email tool that got some CRM functionality added to it. And they keep on building more crazy stuff into MailChimp that I don't like landing page builders that really look like crap. And ActiveCampaign is a true marketing automation suite with good email functionality, or really excellent email functionality, CRM, sales, support. It's in there, yeah. But it doesn't have, for example, landing page building in it. It does not try to be a complete all-in-one tool like our next tip, HubSpot. HubSpot is really the tool that is trying to be it all. From, as I mentioned at the beginning of this meetup, from building a landing page where people sign up, you have the HubSpot forms, people land in the CRM, the data is enriched in the CRM, emails are sent through HubSpot, workflows are managed through HubSpot, the sales team gets a lead score based on the HubSpot score in their CRM, then they start interacting with the leads that have the highest score, then they can close them. Once they are closed, you have the HubSpot support system with ticketing and everything, and you really have this true all-in-one experience. And if you don't mind the $600 per month, where the good version of HubSpot starts in my mind, but there are many incentives to start lower for the first year, and there is a light version that is highly limited, but it's all pretty reasonable. So an all-in-one solution is the right one for you if you can't be bothered with putting all of the best tools together and mixing and matching them with a tool like Zapier or Segment. And if you're like me, you probably prefer something like ActiveCampaign for yourself. But all three have their place. So I hope you like those picks. I'm really interested in what CRMs are you using. Please let me know in the comments what CRM you are currently using and how happy you are with it. So what a CRM does for you is the following. It can enrich the data. For example, here we have something from our Discord channel. Yeah, we have a channel where we receive all the leads. Yeah, I consciously said I don't want to share that personal information, but it was somebody from the domain lieblingstasche.de, favorite bag. Yeah, and they signed up for this very meetup, for the Level Up Your Growth Marketing thing. And it was ticket number 68 out of 250, and it got a lead score of 67, which is pretty high. It's a scale from 1 to 100 provided by a tool, complete free implementation of Mad Kudu by Zapier. So Zapier has some limited free access to a very expensive lead scoring tool called Mad Kudu, and it gives you that. All you need is to share that domain with Zapier. So if somebody submits a form through ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, or HubSpot, you send it through Zapier, through the lead scoring system, and then it enriches that data in your CRM. It's absolutely amazing what it tells you. It tells me that it's a company based in Germany, that it has medium traffic, that it has 30 people working in it, that it is in the software industry, which is a bit wrong because it's an online shop primarily, and that it uses some old technology. This lead score is not perfect, but it gives you a good start. And what you have to realize is that all the leads that are coming in, they are not created equal. And you really don't want to waste the time of your salespeople. It is very dangerous to just get in touch with everybody. First of all, they're not ready for it. Yeah, they need to do some activity. And to have a lead score from a system that is based on external data is a good starting point. But then what you want to do is you want to roll your own system. For example, when somebody opens your email, that is like +1 point. Yeah, if they click on a link in your email, it's +5 points. If they register for an event that you host, like a webinar, it's +20 points. And when they get inactive for 2 or 3 weeks, it's -3 points. And all those points start adding and subtracting, and you have a nice and dynamic system where you can see these are the leads who are really active and engaged and are worth being more proactive about, yeah, and start hunting, as I mentioned before in the video part before. And I love the lead scoring tool by Zapier. I thought you like it too, and pushing it into a channel like Slack or Discord is really a nice, fun add-on. So how does this look like? In this case, I used Zapier. Zapier is a marketing automation tool, which is quite cheap, that helps you just to integrate all of those tools smoothly. So if you don't have the all-in-one solution, or even with HubSpot, I'm still using Zapier because there are many things I want to add to HubSpot and get out of HubSpot into other systems. So what happens here? If somebody goes to my workshop landing page and they decide they want to have a call, yeah, about the workshops here, they have to go through a system with Calendly where they can choose a time slot and book a meeting with me. Then they are, of course, getting added after I have their consent to ActiveCampaign. And then we are also creating a deal, because this step of asking for a time slot about the workshops, it's such a high indicator of willingness to buy that we already create a deal in ActiveCampaign for it. And then we want to be aware of that. And so we send it to Discord. So we get a big message which says, bam, somebody signed up and wants to have a chat. And Matti and I are being tagged in that. So we are definitely aware that somebody showed such a high level of interest. And because I'm a nerd, I always put it into Google Analytics as well, so I can keep tabs on my dashboard and see how many people per week are actually requesting calls. So I will think you will love Zapier. It is probably the most versatile and fun tool in the whole list today. Cool. Then, after you have built a relationship with your people through having a CRM, having them there, being knowledgeable about who they are, sending them regular messages, for example, through email, you want to do something else. You want to ask them for feedback. You want to ask them, do they like this? Do they like that? You will see at the end of this meetup that we are all using Slido to create an NPS score for how do you like this meetup here. And NPS is a system that it is pretty rough to get a high score here. It's a scale from -100 to +100. So a 50 is already a pretty high score. It doesn't need to be always the 100. So everybody who votes for a 0 to a 6 is called a detractor. And that means those are people who are not only going to be neutral about your brand, they might even tell somebody that you suck. Yeah. The 7 and 8 score is people who are like, yeah, I'm not super excited about this, but they're fine. And 9 and 10 in this system is those are your promoters. It's called the net promoter score. You want to get as many people into this promoter area as possible. What do you need to do for that? You need to deliver a kick-ass product experience. And then those are being counted together, and the neutrals, they're just being avoided. The negatives one are actually being subtracted from the promoters, and that's why you end up with the 53%. It is 75%, 65%, -12. Yeah, and that's how the NPS score of 53 ends up here. So why is this cool? There are many tools who help you to do this, and even if you roll it manually like this here, you can calculate it with this thing. I even saw Christina using it today. She's sitting right over there when we evaluated the feedback from the conversion rate optimization workshop today. So what kind of feedback tools are we using here? I think Google Forms is the simplest free choice to make. Typeform is by far the best user experience and much better for tracking. I really love Typeform. I even put it in as an example here. I was never excited about forms until I saw Typeforms. The mobile experience is even better than the desktop experience. So check them out. If you're in a WordPress environment, there is pretty much a Typeform clone for WordPress called WP Forms. They have those nice conversational interfaces. They are not cheap at all, but forums and getting feedback from your customer is so worth it. Then we have something called Hotjar, a tool that I not only use for feedback, but also at a later point when we talk about analytics tools to get people through the customer journey. But Hotjar has an implemented NPS scoring system. So you have a little pop-up on your website, which tells you here, how likely would you recommend this to a friend? Or you can ask questions or ask for simple feedback on that with smileys. So Hotjar is really great at getting feedback in a web environment. So those are the tools I wanted to share with you that really help me to engage the customer. It's one step further from acquisition. Acquisition is only the first part. Now it's about earning and building the trust and getting them to not only consume your content, but to give back. Yeah, it's by far the hardest thing. So these tools have provided me with the best bang for buck on the engaging your customers.